Good morning. We are live, and there's
Good
Jamie.
morning.
Morning.
Hello.
Turn yourself horizontal.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. We like it like this now. We need to, starting next week, guys, we need to,
I lost her again. Jamie needs to be more careful with her phone. Hi, I'm Rick Countryman, and I'm one part of Unrecognizable Recovery here on Unrecognizable Recovery. Jamie will be back in a moment. We're going to be discussing step one and principle one, both from different programs. We have the secular and the Jesus based. There she is. She's back.
I think, am I back? I'm going to fix it. So
You are back.
what I was saying is that I got our camera. Can you see me?
No.
Where did I go? It says I'm on. All right, let me see what's going on.
Have no video.
But it says it's on. I don't. All right, let me figure it out. Chat for a minute. I'll be right back.
What I was talking about, we have to fix this and do this beforehand because Jamie and I have problems. We run in the door right before the show, and we end up with video issues or phones breaking or something. So we need to put some more time into this because definitely not running in the door type stuff doing a live show. So we were talking about step one biblical principles and step one secular principles. And so we are here doing this deal, and Jamie will be back in a moment figuring this out. There she is. Let's see if we've got it. There she is.
There we go. Okay.
Don't play with your phone.
Hello.
Don't play with your phone.
I'm not touching it. It's setting up on the couch now.
Hey.
So starting next week, Rick's gonna join me over here at the house, and we did get a camera. So maybe even Sunday after church, we can make sure it's all set up. And I'll order a mic this week. We'll look at it. But No more phones! Hooray! Oh gosh! Speaking of Mondays, look at that. Wake up one day, and we're all gray, Rick.
Yeah, it's gonna happen, Jamie.
I'm
gonna sneaking in here. The beard has been gray for about 4 years.
Something genetic. I was completely gray before 30, but it was like hip. A few years ago, I had it all grown out, and then I got a impulsive decision. I think I would call it a dry drunk, right? I was sober from all the things, but I was still making some choices like I was living, not with God and making impulsive decisions, and got a crazy hair and ran and bleached it.
It looked really good. You bleached it and you turned it pink, and
yeah, it was really good. And I know, but that's how I know I was like dry drunking it, because one, it was impulsive. Two, I skipped Celebrate Recovery to go to the salon because it was the only appointment that she had. So I didn't go. And then I showed up that night with bright pink hair, like the end.
I remember.
And it was cute, but then I was like, oh, I can't keep up with it. And then I went back to black, and now here we are. It'll be there. Get back to me 2 years from now. We'll see where we're at.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will.
How's your Monday, Rick?
Yeah, I good. I had a doctor's appointment this morning, and
really?
Yeah, on my phone from Iowa City.
Oh, on your phone. Okay. Yeah, I love that.
I was going to be traveling and going to Iowa City with my friend Dawn, who's also in.
Oh yeah, we love Dawn.
And
shout out to Uncle Don.
I couldn't have been here.
Oh well, I'm glad you got it virtual.
Virtual, yes.
Well, I do outpatient counseling still at Broadlawns. I absolutely love the doctor and the therapist. I love everyone there. But as you know, that's about 3 hours round trip.
Yeah.
So I only come in. Well, I don't know. Not often, but I had an appointment scheduled in person tomorrow, and I got an email from the doctor this morning. Hey, I know you're Oskaloosa. I don't really need you for anything. You just want to do virtually. So it's awesome. When you're not making bad choices. And
I see my doctor in Sigourney every 6 months. I have to go
Do you do River Hills?
No, I will not go to River Hills.
Yeah, that's where I was, and I had so much trouble. And honestly, so those of you that don't know this about me, in 2021, I weighed 315 pounds. I had had a baby. I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure, all of the things. I had so many health things going wrong. And I had been at River Hills. I was on tons of medication, and it would just be it was a nightmare. Not only to get in for therapy, they would wait list you for 6 months. People coming in that needed immediate mental health evaluations would be pushed to 4, 5, 6 months. Then once I did, they would mess up my meds. And I'm not talking about controlled medications. I'm talking about like Zola, like just an antidepressant. And then I would need a refill, and they wouldn't call it in. And it was a nightmare. It was an absolute nightmare.
It is. I have friends who still go out there, and they
here in town.
Yeah, who love it. And I just say, man, go to Iowa City. They'll treat you so much better.
Oh, we love Iowa City.
A lot of over medication with people there.
Oh my God.
Over medicate like you would not believe. So like
I do.
Pediatric issues. Part of my recovery story is from bipolar disorder, and I have recovered greatly since I quit drinking and using.
Amen.
You do not understand how much your mental health gets better when you do not the substances in your body. And I try to tell that, to a lot of people. I participate in some online chat things for bipolar disorder, Facebook, stuff like that. And you hear people, I'm getting into recovery. Please, because your medications do not mix with alcohol or weed or any of that. They just don't. And they don't. They're an addition, and it always messes them up. So abstinence has been really good for me. And I'll continue to do what I'm doing because I'm experiencing the best mental health of my life, as long with alcohol. And it's just easier without other stuff.
It's I feel the same way, and I agree with over medication. And I don't even think it's specific to here. Honestly, when I first got sober, I mean, most people know this, but I'll share this again. I little over 7 years free from methamphetamines and opiates. So I was on Suboxone for a very, very long time. But when I got sober, it was like I had started using meth because my opiate problem was so bad to like help with the opiate withdrawals. And then that's how it spiraled out of control. But when I first got sober, they were like, oh, you have ADD, so we're going to give you Adderall. But you also have panic disorder. So then they would prescribe my Valium. Then they put me on Suboxone. They would call it the trifecta, right? So I was taking something to get up, something to get back down, and then the Suboxone just to stay normal. I mean, it was a nightmare. And I will swear on everything. Getting off of Suboxone was harder than IV opiate use for decades. There's a guy in recovery. He's I think on TikTok and Facebook, his name is Matt Keegan, and he writes music about his journey. Have you ever heard of him? You'll have to look him up. But he has a song called Subtoxin about how, the opiate crisis, and we're all given these drugs, and not that we didn't participate in our own problems, but that the opioid crisis happens and everybody's addicted, and then the crisis happens and they shut that down. And all of a sudden, the same drug manufacturers are like, oh, but we have the solution, and it's Suboxone. Right. The same people who we were running from now have the magic solution. So
I'm on the least amount of medication I've ever been on.
Same. And, me too.
That's a blessing because, I don't know if we've talked about it on here, but the crazy thing about this is I was given an Alzheimer's diagnosis that was disabling completely. I couldn't do anything, drooling, doing all that, sleeping all the time. And that was from a benzodiazepine of Klonopin. And, some people here know my story. Some people don't, but that's a recovery issue too, because literally being isolated in your home for several years without much human contact, it takes a lot.
And told you have Alzheimer's.
Until you have Alzheimer's, yeah. And you're or early onset dementia, and you're going to be dead in years. That was incredibly hard on the marriage, along with the lying and craziness that went on with the alcoholism and the drug use. It was nuts because you're always hiding something. that the crazy part about
Yeah.
the insanity of drug use is that you're lying and using, and you're trying to find use, and you're trying to find ways to hide it. You're trying to find stuff. And that's the insanity of alcohol and drug use. It's not the insanity is using, but the insanity goes along with the idea that you've got to hide it. You've got to make
Yes.
sure people don't know, and you've got to make sure this, and
Yep.
that'll drive you crazy in itself. Just trying to find things to use. Like
Yep.
I don't want to go to
True.
Walmart at 6 a.m. and buy a beer because someone might see me in town, but who cares? It's 8 o'clock in the morning. I can drink at 8 o'clock.
Yes.
My lie was always, I just got off work. And I wasn't even working. I just got off work. I need this. I need this.
Right.
Yeah, sure, buddy, you're an alcoholic. You're in a liquor store at 8 o'clock in the morning.
At 8 a.m.
8 a.m. when they open. You're like waiting for the door to open, to get your Fireball.
Yeah. I lived it. And I would be doing that and then going to Walmart and buying cases of whipped cream and huffing the nitrous oxide out of it. Like, oh, I'm just a chef, which I was, but like nobody is buying 12 cans of whipped cream at 5 a.m.
Wow.
It's funny when you talk about, it's not funny. You talk about the diagnosis and early onset dementia. For me, and Rick and I kind of tag team. He kind of talks about secular recovery, and I stick with faith-based recovery. And I say that I am great. First of all, I just want to preface: I'm grateful to be in recovery. I'm grateful for AA, NA, Al-Anon, all the things that anybody does to get recovery. I'm grateful to be an addict. I wouldn't have the life I live today if I didn't have a recovery program in my life. That being said, for me, it's a lot like Rick's dementia diagnosis. If I claim I'm an addict over myself, I feel like I live in that mindset more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like we speak these things over ourselves, or even in your case, a doctor speaking it over you, even though that wasn't going on, you were living like it was.
Right. Me and my ex were. I was going to die. Crazy. I was going to die, even though there were other doctors saying he's over medicated. We're living a lie that I was going to die, and that's hard. I cried on a regular. I was so terrified of what this diagnosis was going to do to me. I remember being told, and I remember there are TikTok videos out there. I don't know where they are anymore. That actually say that my husband is terrified of what this disease is going to do to him, and I was, and. I can't imagine. I couldn't imagine living that life outside that home. Now I've got a free life. I pay my bills. I do all these things. I have an apartment by myself, and I'm in recovery. And it's like the life is so much better. It's so much better, and all those things combined were disabling completely. And now I'm, living a life I couldn't understand before. And that's the emphasis of getting out of bad relationships, getting out of those things that really open my life up to so much more. And the peace that's in my life today is not something that I even can understand. I get bound up sometimes. This peace without the craziness, without the pressure to hide, the pressure to not be seen, and that was a lot to overcome. It really was, and I've overcome it, and we'll move on from that. But what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about step one. I think I explained this. Step one, powerless.
Powerlessness. So step one is that we admitted we were powerless over our sexual sin, addiction, overeating. We realized we were powerless over our addictions and CR we talk about and compulsive behaviors, but that our lives have become unmanageable.
Right.
It's about control.
Right. It's about control. I'll even take it further, though. I will talk about how uncontrolled we are of our surroundings. You think about that. If you expand on that, how much in control are we have of even the things in our life? Our kids, I don't have kids, but my cat's an uncontrollable. And she's lovely. I love her, but sometimes he's a little crazy. And
Yeah.
it's okay. It's okay. You know, that's something I did not understand even 2 years ago. I can't control these things with a squirt bottle. I can't control them with anything. These things are uncontrollables. And
They're unmanageables.
Unmanageable, completely unmanageable. Politics. I have
Yes.
no control over politics. In fact, I
The
hate politics.
winter weather.
The winter weather, it's too hot, it's too cold, all
Yes.
things I can control. And
Yep.
you know, how much do we have? Like, I was able to get this glass of water. It's with an arm's length. This light right here, I can
Yes.
turn it on or off, right?
Yes.
But those are the things. I have a pad of paper, I can write something down. But those things, the
Absolutely.
things, this barnwood shelf. Would you like a barnwood shelf?
A barnwood shelf. Yeah.
You
I would
can
love a
have it.
barnwood
I've
shelf.
had it in here for
Okay.
6 months. You can have it. It's a beautiful barnwood shelf that I got.
I would love it.
You can
I
have
would
it.
love that. Yes, absolutely. That would be delightful.
Okay.
You know, I'm going to share this. So Rick and I just happened to go to the same church, and we heard a wonderful message yesterday. I won't get into the whole message, but it's about remember to remember the miracles that Jesus pulled off,
Right.
the feeding of the 5,000.
Right.
Okay, first question I have to ask. I've read the Bible in its entirety, cover to cover, several times. And obviously, I'm in my Bible every day, different pieces. Did you know the second story of Jesus feeding the masses with nothing?
No.
I didn't know that either. How have we missed that? How is everybody blind to that?
Well, there's two or three, four stories of a lot of things, and you get stuck on one major story.
So
and
true.
you don't read all four gospels, and you're not getting the full story. I mean,
The
I'm
full
in John
story.
right now, and the similar the Lazarus story is different in several different things.
It
different
is.
way he appears in the gospels.
Yep.
That's been led to you to realize there were many people there around with different stories. And it's crazy because you start to read about the accuracy of the Bible. You know, we're in this world that says it's fake, it's fiction, it's whatever. And it's fiction. It's, if you believe it's fiction, look at Jewish history. There was this Jewish writer named Josephus. He was a Jewish historian. He wrote about Jesus. So the guy existed. It's not fiction. It's not fiction. So the Bible is one of the most popular published books, not just because it's popular to read. It's published because it's accurate.
Historically accurate facts.
Historically accurate facts. It's written in Roman history, not mythology, but Roman history, Greek and Roman history, local history, Jewish history. And so it's one of those things I like to, I that's my main source of book, along with a couple of different ones. This book here is a 12 and 12 that I was going to use.
12 and 12. I still got mine.
Yep. And you know, they're secular books written by a secular man who used the power of a group called the Oxford groups to which were based on purity, to come up with these steps. And the Washingtonians were involved too, and they were based on they got strictly political, which is why they don't exist today. I mean, if you look back at politics, you know, political things have destroyed people, right? If you're wrapped up in your politics, release them. Because
absolutely.
I frankly hate politicians. Hate them. They're liars and thieves, and that's what I'll say about that. I won't get wrapped up in politics. But they're pretty awful people. Pretty much, you know, and that's how I feel about it. You know, if you're wrapped up in your politics, release it. Release your political ventures, because they will make you mad. And if you're using, you will use politics eventually.
I am teaching the lesson tonight at Celebrate, and I found out, you know, that's how the enemy works. So tonight's the Republican caucus in Oski, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get that covered, and I'm gonna go and medal, and then God's like, really? You're gonna not only skip CR but try to not teach the lesson you signed up for months ago.
I don't even know what's going on. I don't even care.
Yeah.
This is from a person who lost friends during the last election on Facebook because of things he was posting. I mean, I can't get wrapped up in it because frankly, eventually it'll get so wrapped up until it'll get depressed and want to get up with it. And that's what you look in the world today. I mean, look at Minneapolis. I mean, granted, there's some basic human rights violations in Minneapolis,
Yeah.
and that's pretty awful. But I cannot get wrapped up in that in my daily life.
No, I can't either.
I can't control what goes on in Fremont.
Another unmanageable. Multiple unmanageables.
Multiple unmanageables. I can control my reactions to things.
And let's think about when we were in active addiction, or for me, even before I came to know God, I would get so bent out of, I mean, you've heard me tell my story about punching Fred Phelps at a protest.
Tell this story. Tell this story. This is the moment you need to tell the story.
Oh gosh. Okay. I went to college in Baldwin City, Kansas at Baker University. Go Wildcats. But my freshman year, Students for Change, and now my life is very different now, but we petitioned the Methodist University to get sexual orientation added to the non-discrimination policy. And at the end of that year, in celebration of that, the person we had speaking at commencement was same-sex relationship affirming, I believe. Anyway, they came to protest. And if you don't know who Fred Phelps is, he was the leader of Westboro Baptist Church in Topeka, Kansas. Not a nice human being. Okay. I don't care what you believe. I don't care what you're doing in your life. That's between you and God. But how I behave and treat other people, that's going to be between me and God. These are people that were showing up at people's funerals, had 5-year-old children, with signs at funerals that say faggots are burning in hell. A horrible group of individuals showed up to protest. And that was my first time I ever got in trouble with the law. Had some very awful signs and things to say. And 19-year-old Jamie walked right up to him and punched him in the mouth. I'm laughing about it now.
I love it because
I don't condone physical violence. I wouldn't behave the same way today. Definitely active in my alcoholism and drug addiction. But, you know, my middle child, Hadley's very much the same way. She cannot stand a bully. She is always fighting for justice and things to be fair for everyone. And I don't care. You know, we see people losing their jobs when Charlie Kirk died. It's not because they were Democrats. It's not because they had opinions. It's because they got online and celebrated a human being dying, right?
Yeah, it happened right here in this town.
It did. It was a big scandal.
Big scandal.
Big scandal, and apparently a lawsuit to come, right?
Director of our local art museum lost his job there too. And I feel
teacher as well.
Teacher. A high school teacher, and that's horrible. I hate that his one sentence post cost him everything.
I hate it for him too.
I hate it for him. But that is the response. That is his reaction to a world event that was completely controllable.
Yep.
Don't sit with your phone and go
celebrating someone died.
Yeah. Inappropriate.
You know, and we're in the middle. Talk about unmanageables. Rick and I live in rural Iowa, is what I would call it, coming from a big city. There's one Walmart. I mean, we can't get anywhere. We're in the middle of nowhere. Okay. I love where we live.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't show my shirt, but I love where we live. Okay. Talk about an unmanageable and something that is not, you can't control that. You have no business being so consumed by it that you go and post something violating the social media policy for your employer and lose your job over someone passing away that you just had to share to your social media.
Right.
That's the insanity of addiction. That's a great example.
Was it overdone? Might have been.
Sure.
We live in a Republican area. Honestly.
Yep. For sure.
Very Republican area. And did he not think for a second? I mean, I questioned this on social media and I shouldn't have. My reaction was inappropriate because I've lost friends over it.
Yeah.
Was he on drugs? Was he using? Because that's not.
I don't know. That's what I thought too.
Rational decision.
I don't know.
That's not a rational decision for a guy who is
right. That's what I can't, or maybe they're living in what I just term the dry drunk.
Yeah.
Because anyone, I'm telling you right now, whatever you struggle with, or if you don't struggle with anything in particular, there is no person in this life that doesn't do the 12 steps or participate or get to know Jesus or follow the rules and the commandments of the Bible, whose life does not get substantially better. right? Even if you're not drinking or drugging, like we all have unmanageables, whether you're in addiction or not. Wouldn't you agree?
Right. We all have unmanageables, and when you start to think, hey, I'm powerless over this. What else am I powerless over?
Yeah.
What else am I powerless over? What things can I control? This glass of water, this pair of scissors, this
gray hair.
This gray hair, right?
This gray beard and this gray hair. I mean, I tell you what, it's gosh, man, we get so consumed with that stuff, and it can shut down your world. I was consumed, and one of the major things that you were talking about, I think, in active addiction, is being obsessed with people not knowing that we're doing the wrong things, and that being consumed by appearing one way when, like, I would be, I haven't slept in 4 days and my eyes are out to here, and I'm like, I'm sure if I do this, they're not gonna know.
Right. I'm sure that if I put the Visine in my eyes, they're not gonna
yes.
Today.
Or someone would come in the bar and I'm like downing my drink, like, take this glass.
Exactly. I worked at a pub locally for a short time. And you'd see the guys come in every day about 4:00 and hammer their Guinness or their whatever and go off and drive. And these were Guinnesses and scotches and stuff, and they'd go out and get in their cars and drive away.
Oh my gosh!
You'd say, okay, you're a judge. You're a business leader in the community. I won't say who, but a very big business community member. Lots of lawyers, all in there, having their afternoon drink and then taking off in their Jaguars and Mercedes and Volkswagens. And
because they think they can't,
right? Because they have that power. But I can tell you, I know some cops who'd love to have that on their docket.
Oh yeah, for sure. Or we don't even realize. Let me put myself in that position with the fancy car, and I have lived so much of my life with the I do what I want. I'm in control. That I don't even realize how out of control my life is. We really buy into the fact that we've got this under control. We got a handle on it, and I'm going to use it. It is what it is.
This is my favorite statement. This is my
love that.
People hate that comment during the hardest point of my life.
What it is.
My hardest part of my life, one of my friends in one of my programs says, you know what, it is what it is. As I'm basically stinking without a home.
My life is over. I'm homeless. I'm getting divorced. That is what it is. Water off the duck's back.
I went, what? And I just went, he says it will all pass.
Well, you're not, I mean, and here's so when we did our first podcast, if you haven't tuned in before, the first live cast we did, we recorded for like an hour and 20 minutes and realized we hadn't pressed the last button to go live. So we talked about this that day,
Jamie?
But we didn't share this again. So I'm going to share it. One, that was an unmanageable. And in my old life, would have had a meltdown.
We're not live. I'm just kidding. We've got through.
I know. I can see the button, but then it was like, what? But because of where we are and the fact that, we realize we're not in control and can handle those unmanageables, it was just like, oh, well, so we just went live and talked about some other stuff. But that morning, we did talk about this acronym, and I know they're kind of cheesy, but I like them. Celebrate Recovery uses a lot of acronyms. The old timers, we like acronyms and we like sayings. So when we're talking about that guy, the higher up, the political person, the owner of a business, that we think that we're it's not us. We say it's not you yet.
Yeah.
And the acronym for yet is you're eligible to, because it's not you yet.
Right, it's
but
not you yet.
It was not me. I was like, oh, I'm fine. I'm not using a needle. My drug problem's not that bad. I don't have a DHS involvement. Nobody's ever talked to me about my kids. It's fine. It's not that bad. Well, let me tell you, the task force will kick in your front door. DHS will want to be in your life for a year. You will lose everything. You're eligible to, right? Even that guy with all the money and affiliations in the town, he's eligible to, because we're there until we're not anymore.
Right.
I love that acronym.
I love it too. And you have to look at it, and this is another one that's going to pop up there about control. Easy does it,
but do it.
But do it. Do it anyway. Right? Easy does it. You do it.
Yeah, easy does it.
It's the unrecognizable lives of not having to worry about any of these things. I have, I love life in recovery because I'm constantly focusing on myself, and that's and myself and others, because I'm no longer focusing on just me and what I want, but I'm focusing on service.
Yes,
think if you're not doing service, you're losing a lot of valuable things to gain. I think, I have a guy who I'm talking with about working with, here, and there's some problems with, I can't get into it here, but he's a guy that I know that he won't get a book. He won't get a book. He's I'm in NA. Won't get a book. I was okay. Well, then I can't work with you because you don't have a book. You don't have any basics to get started.
Yeah.
Get a book, and I'll work with you.
That's a good place to start. Get the literature. Open the book. Even the first sentence. So we said the first step. I think Celebrate Recovery does principles with the steps, right? And principle 1 is realize I'm not God. I am powerless to control my tendency to do the wrong thing, and my life, all of it in its entirety, has become unmanageable.
Right. That's a
great place to start.
Perfect place to start. My life is unmanageable. That's a better way to look at it than AA's simple principle if I'm powerless over alcohol. But they got a singular purpose. They got a singular purpose in AA, and that's what changes it. Now, if you start plugging in your life into these steps, they work. And that's what CR does. That's the difference. NA uses substance, any kind of substance, including alcohol or drugs.
Sure.
And that's they're an abstinence-based program. You find all kinds of stuff, but CR has really modeled it down, to what we're doing there.
And I am going to interject this here. If anyone's watching, and knows anything about smart recovery, Rick and I have asked every week. We want some information, because what we're reading is that we maintain control, that we are in control, and that we can do it by ourselves. So I want to know.
I want to know smart recovery. If you're out there and you know something about smart recovery, please give us. We have an email. What is it? unrecognizablerecovery@gmail.com. Please reach out. If you'd like to come on our show, we'd like to talk about smart recovery. I really would.
Yeah,
if you're interested in appearing on the show, I can drop in, I think, up to 10 people or 5 people.
Love that.
We can have a round table here. You might need a pair of headphones, because when you start to get more than 2 people, you get an echo. But if you want to come on our show and discuss recovery, anything related to recovery,
if you're local, you can join us here.
Right. We'll meet for coffee, and then we'll discuss what we want to talk about.
I love that.
I'd love to have someone from Sober Soldiers on. I'd love to have someone from any recovery-based stuff and then talk about what interest you have in recovery.
Yeah,
because we're 2 voices in this big world of recovery. I'd love to have people on that could discuss things like this, because frankly, I'm not the end all, know all, and you always learn something new from someone else. And if you're struggling and you need services right now, dial 988 on your phone. Substance abuse and mental health is available nationally here in the United States and Canada. 988. Okay, it's federally funded, and if you haven't heard, regardless of how you feel about him, President Trump and Robert F. Kennedy have decided to make recovery, because the big fentanyl and meth problems are flowing into our country. They've made it a national ideal for recovery and substance abuse disorder, which encompasses everything.
Yep.
So if that will be a national it's a national emergency right now, what's going on, and they're spending a ton of money. So you'll see recovery centers popping up. And I don't think they're lies. I think they're really genuinely interested in fixing what's been going on here. I don't know. I don't know all about them. And they're politicians, and I don't know what'll happen with that, because they're politicians. And as I said before, I hate politicians.
We don't know.
We don't know. They're uncontrollable, and we'll see what'll happen. But at least it's the start, and the people at the top have started to focus on recovery issues.
It's about time.
Regardless of how you feel about them, they're showing up when the country needs it most right now. And you don't see that on national news. I haven't seen it on national news, because that's not good. That's good news. That's bad news. And if you're watching the news, I'd implore you to stop watching the news. Stop watching the news. I have a TV set in my apartment that never comes on, and that's been an issue with me for a bit. I just don't watch TV. I don't like movies. The stuff they teach in movies is not something I need to put in my brain. I watch old TV shows. Find Carol Burnett, man. She's awesome.
I love her.
Right. Carol Burnett, Johnny Carson, they didn't do politics, and that's something that I like. But what is next, Jamie? What's going on?
Well, I think, we've kind of touched on what step one is, what principle one is, where we are. I think there are questions, and then Rick can kind of get into that 12-step side. I wanted to share this verse. It's Hebrews 13:6, and I think it's really great for step one. It is Hebrews 13:6. The Lord is my helper. I will not be afraid. What can mere mortals do?
What? Nothing.
We're nothing by ourselves. So then we have to start asking, do we believe our life is unmanageable, out of control, and we are powerless over it? Obviously, because we are where we are. Obviously. So we need to start moving in the direction to get to step two of believing that maybe there is something else that can. Okay. So then we have to start asking questions. Can we believe that we deserve recovery? Are we willing to let our past sin, failure, bad things, character defects, are we going to let all of that keep us from this journey? Mm-hmm. Are we scared to change? Are we scared of being sober? Are we scared of what the future looks like? Are we scared because we don't know how to live without this fill in the blank, right?
Whatever.
I don't know. Is that you think a big consideration? Failures from the past before you go into step one, or hurts from the past? Because I know I'm going to talk about it tonight, Rick. There are so many of us that are like, and me for a long time, this person did X, Y, Z to me. I will never forgive them. I will go to my grave. I hate them. I'm going to punish them for life. Right.
You know what's crazy? Recovery has brought me into a process where I want good things for people.
Right. It's crazy, right?
I don't want bad things to happen for people. Now that's changed from even a year and a half ago, where I was sending nasty texts.
So true.
I want good things for people. I want people to be successful and do the things in life they want to do. Be free, be within control. Be free to do the things that you want to do without any kind of things holding you back. And I find that I took a trip to California sober. Come on. I was with two guys, two friends.
Never thought that would happen, right?
Never thought that would happen. And they smoked weed in front of me. And, that's California, the open weed trade. You're walking down Huntington Beach, you're walking down the main street of Huntington Beach, and there's guys in front of this big surf shop, Huntington Serviceport, sitting there drinking their morning coffee, smoking a blunt. And you're just like, this is an outside world, but that's an outside issue.
Yep.
It's an outside issue that's not related to my recovery. They were smart mouthing because I was looking at a surfboard that was inappropriate for me. I'm like, I know that. I'm 225 pounds. I don't belong on a 5'6" shortboard. Understood.
Yeah, we're aware.
We're well aware this board won't work for me, but they're high.
Oh, sorry. I had to move my phone around. So what do you think? I love the saying, denial isn't just a river in Egypt, right?
How many years did I live in denial?
How many years? Okay, so Celebrate has this little excerpt that I want to read. It says, denial has been defined as a false system of beliefs that are not based on reality and a self-protecting behavior that keeps us from facing the truth. As kids, we all learn coping skills. They come in handy when we didn't get the attention we wanted from our parents and others to block out pain and fear. For a time, those coping systems worked, but as years progressed, they clouded our view of the truth and our lives. As we grew, our perception of ourselves and our expectations of those around us also grew. But because we maintained our childish methods of coping, our perceptions of reality become increasingly more unrealistic and distorted. Our coping skills grow into denial, and most of our relationships ended up broken or less fulfilling than they could have been. Have we ever denied that your parents had problems? Did you ever deny that you had problems? The truth is, most of us can answer yes to those questions, but for some of us, that denial then grows into shame and then guilt. Denial is the pink elephant sitting in the middle of the living room. No one in the family talks about it or acknowledges it. Do any of the following comments sound familiar to you? Okay, Rick, I'll quiz you here. How about, can't we stop talking about it? Talking about it only makes it worse. Ever heard that? Use that?
Yes.
He really doesn't drink that much. If you didn't nag me all the time, I wouldn't. Look, honey, I have a tough job. I work hard. I need a few drinks to relax. It doesn't mean that I have a problem. He drinks more than I do. Billy, if we don't talk about it, it'll go away. That actually has Billy in the book, in the text. The name Billy. That's my husband's name, if you don't know. But that's denial, guys. And I think those are just basic statements. We could probably list 50 more. She's been married 3 times. I've only been married twice. The same things I said earlier, right? I don't use needles. My drug problem's not that big. Oh, right. We don't have DHS involvement. We're not bad parents. That's denial, all of it. And if we want to take step 1 in recovery, first, I'm going to say, and I see if you agree, that we have to head on, face, and admit our denial. Thoughts?
I was distracted. I was distracted by comments, but we won't be commenting on them.
Huh?
No,
oh, somebody commented. Mm-hmm. Is it an unmanageable situation?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Is it about politics?
Local. Yeah.
I thought that it would be because that's what people hear. We are here not because we're paid or sponsored or asked to be here, but because God recovery has changed our lives. And if we could ever save anyone from that, we want to do it. Not because of politics. It's just silly. And I'm not looking at what you're looking at.
I'll read the comment. Hate is a very strong word, and that's a big generalization.
Hate? What did we say we hate?
It's from a comment.
I know, but what did we say that we hate?
I didn't say anything. But hate's a big generalization. I don't hate anything. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know what I hate.
He resigned from Face, so lost his job.
Oh.
Yeah, it was local. You know, we have different viewpoints. I think the guy would have had to resign. Simple as that. We'll leave it at that.
I hate that someone's life was changed because of that. I feel like it could have been avoided. I'll say I hate that. I do hate it.
Yeah, I do.
I hate that a family was probably affected, just like on the other side, a family was affected. I hate it. And we're kind of talking about, like, let's not get consumed with that stuff and blindly do things, because that in fact is manageable, right? I can control what I go on the internet and write.
Right. Simple.
I can't control what would be unmanageable is how other people respond to that.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
So while we're actually here, we're talking about denial in step 1. So what do you think? You think that's what prevents people from starting recovery, the program at all?
No, I think a lot of people don't want to recognize that they're an alcoholic or an addict. I didn't. I even questioned the first part of my recovery. Am I really an alcoholic? Am I really an
Oh yeah.
alcoholic? Am I really that bad? Am I really overusing? You know, I remember having a conversation with my ex. Am I really that bad? Did I always overuse? Answer was always yes. I
Yeah.
always drank it. I always
Yep.
overused it. I didn't have control at
Yep.
all. And that's the truth answer, right? I
Yep.
mean, denial is the question of a rational decision. Well,
Yep.
do I rationally consume alcohol? Do I say I'll have one or two and have one or two? Or do I do all the methamphetamines? Do I do the full bag of weed over a 2-day period? Do I really snort that much cocaine? My bank account only says that I've only spent $1,000. That's really not that bad. That's not too bad for cocaine. You know what I'm saying? You know what
We
I'm
can
saying?
justify it all day long and rationalize it.
I have
Anything to avoid.
I have $100,000 a year's job.
It's
You know,
fine.
fine, $1,000
Fine.
bucks, no big deal. Drop the bucket. That's a lot of money for me.
Yep.
A lot of money for
Yep.
me. You know, I have more money than I've ever had before. And still, you get money and you go, that's not enough. I need
Yeah.
more.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I need more. And that's denial too, that you have enough. You have food in your house. You have all of the things, a barn shelf that I'm giving to Jamie.
Yay.
I have all the things. I have all the things that I
Yay.
don't need anymore.
Yeah.
I'd like a vehicle, right? That'd be
It's going to come.
it'll come.
It's going to come.
But that's lost from the decisions I made. And that's something I have to work for.
It'll
Right?
come. It's going to come. But you're working for it.
Uh-huh.
You're no longer denying that statement was everything. It's a result of things that were manageable that you did not maybe do the right way.
Some of them
So,
unmanageable. I mean, that some of them were unmanageable. I had
yeah.
Alzheimer's disease. I was going to die. Right.
Right. Right. So
Don't
I
need
feel
that.
like understanding our feelings, our past, hiding our feelings, living in denial, it freezes us where we are, our emotions, and we're like stuck there. So we have to there's freedom in the other side, I guess, is what I want to say. Is I know it sounds scary to acknowledge all of the things that you've done, but there's freedom in that. And I want to encourage anyone that's like on the precipice with this first step, even stick your toe in the water. It's not that cold. You don't have to go all in all at first, but I would encourage you to. But start looking at your coping mechanisms and things that are learned behaviors, and stop rationalizing and making excuses. Rick just gave you 20 different we don't drink that much, all the things. We gave you 20 different excuses that we've both made. That's denial and kept us from taking step one. So yeah, I don't know. What would you say to encourage someone? What would be a great first step into getting to step one?
Gosh, that's a tough question. I had to get low enough.
Yeah.
I had to hit bottom. And my bottom came 9 months into my recovery because of the things I did while drunk and using.
Yep.
I mean, that's a lot of it, and some people don't want to see you recover.
Yeah.
That's a lot of it. You'll get that back out. The recovery can be lonely in the beginning because all of your drinking, using, whatever friends that you ate with, that you had sexual sin with, will disappear because you're no longer useful. You're not going to buy those drinks at the bar. You're not going to provide the drugs. You're not going to provide the things they need. So they're going to disappear. So early in recovery can be lonely. That's why you have to turn into a recovery community and make a whole new group of friends.
Yeah, the big one, when he's talking about not providing the drugs or the alcohol, for me, when I still had friends drinking, drugging, thugging, and I had gotten sober, is that I would no longer co-sign on their behavior. I had started trying to get mine in check. Not that I thought I was better than anyone. I wasn't then, and I'm certainly not now, but that I would no longer let them make those same excuses to me. So, someone saying, oh, I didn't drink that much. Well, you had 7 or whatever it is. I started asking people to hold me accountable. And I think I started holding people around me accountable. And soon you look around, like you said, and you don't have any friends anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not scary though. I guess it kind of sounds a little overwhelming, but you will find the support and building up a network around yourself of people, even in small rural Iowa. I have the best friends, the best church family, the best coworkers. I'm friends with my kids' teachers. Like, we have the best network of people around us. I wouldn't trade it for anything. That's why I love things like Celebrate Recovery, for example. Like, we have a meal on Monday nights, the fellowship and building those relationships to find things to fill your hours, because so many of the hours before were filled with other things.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you have plenty of time in recovery.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have plenty
I'm
of
trying
time.
to think if
I think the advice I could give to someone in recovery is to stay busy. Don't sit, learn, make new friends, go to lots of meetings. You know, part of my problem is the majority of my recovery meetings have been on Zoom. So there were people who were helpless in my situation. I was on their end. We're helpless. We're powerless over what's going on in your town.
Yeah.
You don't have friends in recovery, and that's what I had to step out and did do, and I did immediately. Was I rejected at the first Celebrate Recovery I went to? Absolutely. Absolutely. I was rejected because of my situation. It happened. People didn't know me. I walked in, told my situation, and it was like, we can't help you.
We're wiping our hands of this.
Right. I think Jamie and Billy are the only ones that knew me there.
Yeah.
I was in the addiction group, and I was rejected. My situation was...
we loved you. I ran up and hugged you.
I know you did. I know you did.
But that can be a lot. Like, when we got sober, for when our house got raided, we had DHS involvement. Billy was on parole. He should have been going to prison. He had to go get an ankle monitor. I mean, there were people that wiped their hands of Billy specifically, of me specifically, of us, because of our involvement with DHS. And I had been using when I was pregnant. I'm not proud of it. I'm not bragging about it. I'm disgusted by it. But I share that fact because I hope it'll help someone else not make the same choice. But there were people that wanted to wash their hands of me too. But those people, like you say, when you were greeted with it, unmanageable, right?
Yeah.
But there are people, and I can attest that Rick is one, and me and my husband, if you are in the state of Iowa, we'll help you get plugged in. Right. And I love that, for living in such a small, not just city, county, state as a whole. We have a great recovery community in the state of Iowa. I mean, it's phenomenal.
Des Moines is exceptional.
Oh, it is. It's exceptional. But even Cedar Rapids, Cedar Falls does, Iowa City. Here where we are, it's not bad. Even Southeast Iowa is not bad. You have to want it.
No, you got to want it. You got to.
But I promise you, the first time you walk into an AA meeting, I would bet on it that people are going to stay after to talk to you, and they're going to ask you, and what are you doing, and where are you from, and what's your story, and they're going to connect you, and they're going to want you to come to the next meeting.
Generally, newcomers are very welcome because we're seeing in you what we saw in us.
Absolutely.
And it helps us, and we get growth out of working with you. It's not trouble. It's not whatever.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Help from the new person. You're not too much, and you have plenty to say. Say it.
Yep.
Plenty to say, because you're going through what we went through at one point in our life. You're struggling with that first step.
And we want to hear it.
We want
not just us, but all of us as a whole. We can a gross generalization, I think, is what they said. We'll reuse that. That is a hasty generalization, but I feel completely safe making it. Yeah. Most people in recovery want to hear it. And we talked about AA, people staying after. Celebrate Recovery, come early. Most Celebrate Recoveries have a meal. I know around here, all of them do. There are different things. There's Valentine's Day. Sober Soldiers does a Valentine's Day dance. It's super fun. I think it's the fourth or fifth year. If anyone's watching, you have to correct me. Maybe third. No, fourth. But everybody gets dressed up. There's like karaoke and there's dance contests. The kids play musical chair. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff going on. If you want it, it's out there, and you can start making little changes to Stop living in the river, right? Get out of denial. Get out of denial and start stepping into the light.
And and take the first step of showing up to a meeting.
Yes.
That thing, just to walk through the doors, and there's no heavier the moment than walking into a recovery meeting if you're using or still using, but you'll be welcomed. You'll be
absolutely will. You absolutely.
We are at 58 minutes.
Yeah, I think I just want to end with then for me that we're another cliche thing from a recovery group. Secrets keep you sick. We're only as sick as our secrets. And that I would like to say that God's light shines on the truth and our denial keeps us in the dark. And everything in the dark is going to come to light.
Wow.
So don't let yourself feel comfortable sitting there. Mm-hmm. Push yourself. Start facing some of these things head on. And remember, you don't have to say, I'm going to never drink or drug, or I'm never going to do any of these. I'm never going to eat chocolate. I'm never going to, whatever it is, you don't have to commit to it for the rest of your life. Commit to it today, every day. And that's a start. Mm-hmm. So just for today, say, I'm going to spend some extra time in my Bible. I'm going to go on a walk around the neighborhood. I'm going to spend some time with my kids playing a video game, whatever it is, do something healthy. And I know you guys can do this too.
Yep.
Any thoughts for you, Rick?
Well, I'm thinking about next week. What do you want to do next week? Step two.
Step two. Rick, what's step 2?
Power greater than myself.
Yes. Celebrate recovery is believe that God exists, that I matter to him, and that he has the power. Is it power to help me recover? I think is the language.
I think it is.
That God exists, that I matter to him, and that he has the power to help me recover. So that's principle 2. Step 2 is the same. But we've admitted that we're not in control. There are things that are unmanageable. And now we're going to move into, well, we can't be in charge, but maybe something else can. Who is?
And we'll talk about that next week. I just chaired a meeting this morning on step 2. So
fun.
Yes. Well,
reach out, guys. Hey, I'm waving a big hello to a recovery group that's in treatment in Oklahoma. That's tuning in later today to watch the videos. And we love the support, and we love to support you guys. So come back, check us out, reach out with questions, information, correct us. It's kind of water off a duck's back now, guys. We don't really get worked up about a lot of things. And if we have stuff to learn, we'd love to learn it.
Mm-hmm. We'd love to learn it. Contact us soon. At the Unrecognizable Recovery podcast on Unrecognizable Recovery on gmail.com. Yep. Contact us about smart recovery. We definitely want to learn about that because
absolutely
that's very interesting. With that, it's Rick and Jamie signing off for Unrecognizable Recovery. Another tale. We'll see you next week.